That gunfire and explosions going off, Kamal, right across the city.
That sounds close as well, Anita, at least through my ear it does.
Well, it sounds close because we're surrounded by fairly new concrete buildings. We found this in previous days, that what it tends to do is bounce the audio around in a kind of auditorium way, but this is quite definitely of a totally different order to the gunfire and the anti-aircraft fire that's been used in a celebratory sense over the preceding weeks in Tripoli. And it is going off. It's interesting. The tracer fire is going off in all directions. There doesn't seem to be any. I'm not sure what they're firing at, because where it's being aimed is across and backwards and forwards. There seems to be no central focus to this firing.
Yeah, because you were saying before earlier, Anita, that even though 110 Tomahawk cruise missiles have been fired, you've certainly not seen any sign or heard anything, at least in the centre of Tripoli. And now some sort of response coming from...
Yeah. It's been a very, very quiet night. So we've assumed from that whatever targets they weren't targets in the centre here. So you have to wonder, what are they firing at? We didn't hear, and we were sitting here just preparing actually to wrap for the night, having decided that probably nothing much more was going to happen now. We had the doors wide open, but we didn't hear any aircraft. There were no explosions. I'll let you hear a bit more of that.
Take your time, Anita.
There were no explosions. I wonder, we've taken a sort of precautionary position here, Kamal. We're not too far out of the shelter of the building we're in. So I would say I'd try and get our cameraman to come off the tripod and see if he can get some pictures, but in actual fact, he's a little far away. He can't zoom in where he is to give you, and as I say, it's coming from all directions, so we can't, it's paused again. Yeah, absolutely, quite up till now. So we thought they had probably finished doing whatever they were doing, but we don't know. We didn't hear an aeroplane. There wasn't an explosion that went off that these responses might have been related to. We simply don't know what's triggered it at this point this evening.
Just for viewers joining us, we're talking to Anita McNaught, our correspondent in Tripoli there, who, while we've been on air, sounds of gunfire, quite loud gunfire, and random, you were saying, Anita. About when did this start?
Anti-aircraft fire, Kamal.
Sorry, you're quite right, yes.
Much more. Around 2:30, anti-aircraft fire. No, this is big military stuff. This is not, absolutely not the celebratory gunfire that we've got so used to here. This was a military response to some kind of perceived threat. But what that was, we simply don't know. What it does tell us, though, is there is some kind of there are various forms of anti-aircraft emplacements in all sorts of positions around the city, because the firing was coming from all directions.
Anita, stay with me for a moment. Just ask my team in the control room if they can run some of the pictures from earlier of the missiles being launched from the US warships out in the Mediterranean. Ostensibly, this would be what the anti-aircraft fire is in response to, or something along those lines, because we've been told 110 of these missiles have been fired. And the Pentagon's telling us that have been fired from the Mediterranean towards Tripoli. And there are some still shots which hopefully we can show as well, which capture the really dramatic moments when those missiles are fired off the deck of the ships. Not just the US involved at the moment. British Prime Minister David Cameron has said British forces are in action as well. And of course it was France which began with the first sorties over Libya. These are the still shots I was talking to you, released off the US Navy's official website. We got these.